Hey guys, RC here, and today we've got two President Lincoln 2 Pluses. Whole long story. So, first off, you're probably wondering why the cover's on. And I do have the covers. They're actually right there. Customer sent the radios in without screws. So, that leads to another topic. Just a FYI on later. But anyway, so trying to put these covers on this radio and try to hold it up, it just ain't gonna work. So we're just gonna do them without the covers, which will be fine. This is the first radio. They're both President Lincoln 2 Pluses. And we'll just get right to it on this one. Both of them were sent in for repair. Basically, in a nutshell, blown funnels and regulator. This one had a little bit more damage I had to do on it, or I had to repair on it, but basically that was the gist. And just show actually what came out of this radio. So, if it'll focus, you know, the two 13N10s, they blew up. and the regulator shorted out as well. Usually, just a tip, you know, like, this ain't all the time, but most of the time, when you blow your funnels, you have either blew the regulator as well, or you have shortened its life tremendously. It's best to change them both. And another thing I've seen lots of people do, and we'll get into that topic on this other radio, but when one funnel blows, don't just change one funnel. Change them all. They're a dime a dozen. They're super cheap. And it's just like transistors in a pill lamp or a pill box. You know, you'll have an imbalance. And then eventually the other one will blow. And we'll get to that. So, but anyways, this is what was left out of this one. Then here's the regulator that came out. Another tip, that I have found out that it helps me so much. Used to, I would try to pull these regulators out. It's a good thing I got the radio cover off, because right here is where the regulator goes into it. It goes through the board. Lots of radios nowadays do that. And with that, you're kind of risking if you try to pull out all three leads or try to pull out one at a time, you're risking the damage to trace. I've done it. I've done it before on radios. I'm not going to say I haven't, but I'm just telling you, it's easier just to basically, here's what I do. I cut off two legs. Doesn't matter what two of the three legs. And I usually just leave one in there. And I'll heat up whichever, soldering joint or through hole solder joint, whatever. And I'll heat that one up, pull the whole regulator out, and then I'll flip the radio on its side, and I'll have a pair of like I have a set of tweezers here, but hemostats, and I'll clamp down on that one lead that I cut off, heat up that joint, pull it out, and do the same thing. And take some desoldering wick and just work through the holes to get all that solder out. It is the best way I've found for these radios, these style of radios, to remove them. Just a little couple tips. I mean, trust me, I have done my fair share of screw ups. Nobody's perfect, you know. So hopefully I can maybe give somebody some insight. But anyways, we'll just get to this radio. So basically, both of them are all the way, so, or however you want to call it, comp tuned all the way, whatever. So we have upgraded the funnels and the regulator in here. We have the Palomar Max mod for the regulator, and then the two new funnels in the back. So let's get right to it. We're going to turn the carrier all the way down. This is on AM. We're going to read average power first, if it'll focus. There we go. So we're going to be looking at the middle scale. This is a 50 watt slug. 1 watt carrier all the way down. Show you average power swing. Oh, about 10, 11 watts RMS. We're just going to turn the carrier wide open. Set it right at 15 for you. Both radios are the same, but we're going to go through both of them. Oh, about 32, 33 watts RMS. And we're actually going to turn the carrier all the way back down. We're going to go in the peak, but we're going to go to ×2. So now this 50 watt slug will be reading it on the bottom scale. So basically a 100 watt slug. All right, once again, this is peak power all the way down. Audio, 80 watts PP. And we'll turn the carrier wide open and go back, and let's do it one more time. Audio, almost 90, I don't know, 86 watts PP, somewhere around there. Actually, let's flip that back up. We'll actually test sideband here real quick. We will go to, if it'll focus. All right, let's just keep it there. The horsepower's wide open. Now we're still looking at the bottom scale. Audio, 80 watts PP on sideband. And you know, I kind of set this up a little bit conservative for the guy, because I know he talks a lot on sideband, I think. I think that's what he told me, where he kind of flips back and forth. And, you know, honestly, a death to a radio is sideband, in my opinion. That's when the radio's running the hardest, especially when you're like talking all the time and back and forth. But not to say it can't be done, just it's got to be set up right. Anyways, let's go to the second radio. So this is part 1, and part 2 should go as follows. All right, we're back. So here's the second President Lincoln 2 Plus. Basically the same thing. So we'll just show you the parts here that I just took out, and we'll get to that example I talked about here earlier. So here's what came out of this radio. It's kind of hard to tell a little bit. So we changed the regulator out. It's got a Palomar Max mod, and the two 13N10s are basically done for. So this one right here was actually bad. I don't know if you can tell, I marked it with a Sharpie on this one, but this one tested out good. And you know, honestly, I mean, a man could have just put a new final in here to fix that problem. I mean, this was still bad, but you know, you get the gist. But you know, they're a dime a dozen. Just change them both. You know, not saying change them to a different one. That's up to you if you want to do that. But you know, at least put 2 of the same matching ones in there. And anyways, so these were bad, even though they didn't have a catastrophic failure. Sorry, this one was tested good, but this one was bad. It just, I guess, went. And then this tested out bad as well. So, get right back to it. So basically this radio set up the same way. We'll just get right to it in the video. So, we're going to do horsepower all the way down. We're going to do this one once more. So, if we will focus. There we go. 50 watt slug, we're reading it on average power, so the bottom scale. Oh, sorry, the middle scale. Apologize. Set it right at 1 watt carrier all the way down. Oh, about 11, 12 watts RMS on this one. Turn the carrier all the way up. 15 watts. Oh, 35 watts RMS. We're going to turn the carrier back all the way down. We're going to peak. Once again, it's the same thing. We're looking at the bottom scale. So 50 watt slug times 2. Audio. 90 watts PP. We're going to turn the carrier all the way up. Audio, about 90. Well, y'all are kind of looking at a different angle than I am, but we're looking about 93, 94 watts PP. And that just shows like every radio tunes out different. I mean, so there's your prime example. I'm just gonna keep that back up. We're gonna flip it over here to sideband. So, all right, so we're on upper sideband. We'll go back. So we're looking at the same thing again, bottom scale PP. Audio, test 1, 2, 3, audio, test 1, 2, 3. About 80 to 82 watts PP. And that is it. Both these radios, they turned out good, in my opinion. And so, that is it. They'll be going back to Canada. Kind of funny story how me and this customer met. I don't want to get in, well, I don't want to get into it, but it was quite an interesting spiel. But once again, guys, I appreciate the business, and I guess we're back and up and going. It's kind of a crazy story, man. I mean, it's weird because, you know, I made that video. It kind of said I was slowing down a little bit, and man, that's probably been the busiest I have been. That's why, you know, I haven't had time to make videos or do nothing. But actually, we've calmed down a lot, so we can actually get back in the going and the rolls and stuff. But once again, I want to say thank you to everybody. If it wasn't for everybody, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't make no money off videos. Don't really care to make money off videos. But, you know, I just feel like I'm kind of giving back in the hobby. I had so much people help me in the past, and, you know, this is one thing I can do. Anyways, guys, be on the lookout for another video. Got a all the way 447 coming up, and yeah, let's get that going. All right, guys, stay safe. We'll catch you on the flip. We'll see you. Bye, bye, bye.